Sophs here once again with another TV review. Well, it's been a long time since I actually done a TV review as I'm actually recording this video. So I'm not going to keep these videos for too long now. I'm hoping to down it by either 10 minutes or smaller. So I'm going to try and cram in as much as I can. But this TV series review is based on Law & Order Season 19. Now, this came out in September the 27th of 2017 and ended in May in basically 2018 of basically this year, which I am recording this video in. So this season had 24 episodes, and we're just gonna generally talk about the season. I'm also gonna put in one of the little taglines that they always put in before and after a particular episode, as they always do. But other than that, we're just going to talk about it. So this season, it's a little bit very different. We all have our original cast. So we have Olivia, Roland, we have Finn, we have Sunny, and we have Barbara. Now, Barbara is in the season until episode 13, which I will talk about, and then we get introduced to a new person in ADA. So the person who plays Peter Stone is Phillip Winchester. Yes, that is a little pun, only because I've been a massive fan of Supernatural for years and for years, and I never knew someone who has Winchester as the name, except for in Supernatural. So he comes in episode 13, and he comes in to attend his father's funeral, and that's when we get to see Jack McCoy, which we have not seen in many seasons, and we find out that a lot in that particular episode, which I will talk about. This season we see Brian Cassidy come back into the picture, but he isn't in for very long. We get to see Noah Benson. With Noah Benson and the storyline that happened for 10 episodes, and I think it is actually 9 episodes. We got to meet his grandmother, Sheila Porter, who is played by Brooke Shields, who we've all actually seen her in previous episode earlier on in the Law and Order series. So go ahead and watch that part of it as well. So I just recommend you to. We do see Ken Randall as well, Finn's son is married, has a beautiful baby, which I feel that's incredible. So we're just gonna dive into some of the storylines that were into this season, especially with Noah's grandmother coming in. So she's from episode 1 and she's in and out for most of the season until episode 10. Was that episode 10? No, it's episode 9. Now, this is a little bit of a confusing thing with me when I was watching the season, and it was I think it was this too. Some of the names are actually changed in this particular season, like Baby Gone Baby Gone. So that is when that's actually when Sheila basically kidnapped Noah, and it was completely planned. But in the DVD, on the episode 10 actual label, it has a different sort of name to it, and it was sort of flip-flopped in the DVD. I don't know if that was a writing mistake. I don't know. So if you get really confused after episode 8, just jump to episode 10 in the DVD, and that's when that storyline carries on and ends. So basically, like I did say before, Sheila steals Noah, kidnaps him. Olivia is freaking out, but at the end, as we see in what was supposed to be the episode afterwards, and I think that was the DVD era, that's when we get to see how it is after the nightmares and everything. So that's some of the storyline. Let me go to Barbara, because episode 13 was his last episode, and it was around I can't pronounce this at all, so I will just chuck into the edit of what the name is for this medical condition. So about 5 months, a mum who we got introduced in episode 13 about the baby basically cannot breathe, cannot talk, can't eat, and can't see, and they didn't know well enough to turn off the breather, the life, I can't explain this is too horrible, basically letting the baby go. And in this as well, we saw how Barbara, how he felt horrible because he let his father stay for weeks, and then he finally died. You know, a lot of season of episode 13, it's very hard to comprehend when a baby basically is born with such horrible syndromes, and parents do not know how to cope. I probably will chuck a photo up, and let's just open up to conversation, because this is very hard for parents everywhere who go through so much heartache when they finally have that little baby boy or girl, and it's just devastating. And you know what, I can't talk about it because it stuns me trying to talk about this, because it's heartbreaking, absolute heartbreaking. So if you haven't watched that particular episode, so it's episode 13, the Undiscovery Country, so go watch that and you will see sort of what I'm talking about, and just how breaking that episode was. So going back up to episode 4, which is No Reason. So the events in this particular episode are inspired by the events that happen in 13 Reasons Why. Now, I have not seen that series just yet, because I'm scared if I do watch that series, it's going to trigger me in so many different ways. And yes, I've been in recovery for 7 to 8 years now. I just really want to do it in my own time, and I will of course chuck some photos up. So this high school girl who was unfortunately not only was attacked by 3 boys, but she went through severe nasty bullying online and in person because of a reputation that she got when she was attacked. And no person should feel like they are not wanted or anything. And this episode made me cry because there's so much more bravery than anything to stand up to bullies and standing up for what happened to her too. At the end of the episode, Olivia went to her school to talk about if anyone was actually assaulted, sexually assaulted, bullied, and the ending to that episode was just beautiful to point out. It made me cry. So if you want to go watch that episode, it's episode 4. Now there's some other episodes on here. I'm just going to recommend you guys just to go watch, because I can see I'm already cutting for time, but that's okay. With these reviews, it's a little bit more longer. If you go to, what episode was it? Just let me give a quick read. So episode 8 is a actual very interesting episode as well, which is called Intent, when a reality star and another reality star hooked up, but then find out that this person was catfishing them, and that this person, the girl who was catfishing reality star, deserved it. No, go watch that one, because that is a really good one. Another one, which is episode 11, which is Flight Risk, and it was such a very interesting episode, because it was a plot around a flight attendant, and how a flight attendant was assaulted, and that a flight company was covering up because they think that women are not able to be productive or do more things, and that's not true. We are capable of doing more, and a lot of stuff happened in that particular episode, and go watch it. Is which is episode 11, Flight Risk. I want you to go watch that, because I think that there's a lot of amazing meanings around that. So go watch it. So episode 12, which is Infowars. So this one was inspired by the Charlottesville riots, and a lot of this was very interesting, because we all know with politics, you should never fucking mix that completely, because we all have our side of things, our opinions, our values, and there's just something wrong with some political stuff as well that I'm not going to get into. The person who was campaigning was unfortunately assaulted, and you just need to go watch that episode. I'm not going to go for any more further than that, because in some parts it actually pisses me off a little bit. So as I'm going down, because I'm just having a quick read, episode 14, that's when Cassidy, something was going on with him, you should see that. 15 is when Cassidy's niece was unfortunately raped, and go see that. That's episode 15 in Loco Parents, I think it's called. Then there was a Dare, which is episode 16, where they were playing, a kid was playing this prank game. Unfortunately, she fell, and then when her organs were donated by someone who didn't have any kind of consent, gave her organs away, and that is a very interesting episode to go see. Another one, definitely see 17, that's a really good one as well. So another one I'm gonna refer you guys to watch, which is episode 18, Service, and it's about a young person who was assaulted by military soldiers, and as the story goes along, one of the soldiers is actually transgender, and that's another one you should definitely go see. What else should I so 19 is around domestic violence, having to try and run away from a violent person, so go watch that. The story of Esther, which is 20, which is around religious cults, back in the day when I can't remember what season it was, when they went on in a cult and there was a pregnant girl who gave birth, then that person will get the money for it, you know. So that's another one you definitely should see. The majority of this whole season you should just go and watch, and that is just letting you know just to go watch the majority of a whole season. And then yeah, I'm just gonna recommend just to go watch a whole season, because I'm completely over capacity by 5 minutes. But yeah, go watch the season. I think that the season is incredibly informed, you know, with a lot of issues of today. And some of these episodes are inspired by a lot of things that happen and stories that may or may not be true. But I highly recommend you go buy this on DVD now, even on iTunes if you're an iTunes type person. Some things I have to buy on iTunes, but anywho's, I'm gone. This is a too long of a video, but go down below where you can check out all of my social media links, including my website, anything social related like Facebook, Instagram, etc. And go a bit more further down below where you can check out all of my YouTube series links I posted over these last so many years. Thank you all so much for joining me, and I promise I'll try and get better with these reviews. But until then, I'll see you all soon.